Dear students, I am Dr. Kumar, Assistant Professor of Zoology, Government First Aid College, Shira. The topic of today's lecture is Adaptation of Vectors. It comes under paper 4, that is Insect Vectors and Diseases. In this class, let us see how the vector get adapted itself to its environment or changed environments. Okay, right. The emergence of zoonotic infectious diseases. You have seen, and you have also know that the zoonotic diseases are those diseases which are a group of diseases which are communicated from animals to the human beings. Okay, so they are usually called as zoonotic diseases. The emergence of zoonotic diseases and the geographical extent, so that means the distribution of these zoonotic diseases on the planet Earth, geographic different continents of the Earth, is a challenging task for anyone. But in spite of it, the technical advancements in the development of the statistical and epidemiological tools will be helpful in understanding the disease distribution and how it gets activated and how it is operating in any given environment that can be easily known today. During the recent Ebola outbreak, in the recent years, when the Ebola outbreak occurs, and the countrywide, the worldwide, were concerned with the transboundary transmission of infection. People are usually scared how whether the same the infectious agent can cross the boundaries of the different nations, and transmission occurs in the new nations also. Okay, people are scared and concerned with a transboundary transmission of the infection by enhanced human population. How it gets transmitted through transboundary? So that is the enhanced people population, and importantly the mobility of the population, the mobility of originating from infected country to the new country, that is uninfected countries in West Africa. Similarly, the transboundary movement of live animals and their products can give rise to the introduction of the spread of diseases. As you have seen, as you have heard the name, that is Convention, CITES, the Convention of International Trade in Endangered Species. Okay, so we have an agreement between the nations where we can exchange the plant and wildlife products in general, that is the undomesticated plants and products, animals can also be exchanged between the nations. Okay, so the transboundary movement of live animals and their products can give rise to the introduction of a spread of the diseases. In this context, the vector-borne diseases, the mechanical translocation and subsequent adaptation of vectors between endemic and non-endemic areas is a common phenomenon that can lead to the introduction of the infection. Here I draw your attention to understand this. So mechanical translocation of the vectors. Okay, the mechanical translocation of vectors, so that means the vector is an organism having capability of the transmission of the disease causing pathogen from one organism to the other organism, or one place to the another place. Okay, once this kind of vector change its position or its place of origin, okay, what is called as the non-endemic areas, translocation. Translocation means the change of location from one place to the other place, from for a long distance, from one country to the another country. That is what is called as translocation. The translocation and subsequent adaptation, once it is being translocated from one nation to the other nation, naturally the environmental condition differs. Okay, usually they are endemic. Endemic, that is the place of origin where they are permanently living. Okay, so once they usually translocated, they becomes non-endemic. The environment becomes new to that particular vector as well as pathogen. Okay, it's a common phenomenon and can lead to the introduction of the infection. The infection usually occurs in the new area where these vectors are usually translocated. Right. For example, it is well documented that the mosquito, the Aedes aegypti, so which causes dengue fever, that is yellow fever, dengue, chikungunya, and Zika viruses are transmitted through Aedes aegypti, was shipped in steamers, that is the ships, and also along the Magdalena River from Cartagena in 1880s itself. In 1818 itself, here the translocation occurs in the previous years. Okay, so there is no transportation occurs, where the transportation from country to one country to another country through the ships. Okay, the here the steamers are nothing but a kind of ships, along with the Magdalena River from Cartagena in 1880s itself. That means the translocation of these disease causing pathogens or the vectors so usually occurs as the human population increases in countries. In recent years, that is in 2010, that is Aedes aegypti had already been reported throughout the Colombian territory. So this vector not only adopted and colonized in rural environments where it is originally emerged, but also spread to the urban landscapes also. So it is spreaded to the rural areas as well as the urban areas. This is likely to contribute the increase of the urban transmission of diseases such as dengue fever, yellow fever, hemorrhagic fever, etc. In the past, infected mosquitoes traveled along the rivers and canals, but today their movement can be facilitated by road transportation as well as the airways networks. Okay, it is improved now and it is easy, and the transmission is so fast. Okay, where the transmission occurs through the roadways as well as the airways. For this reason, the risk of vector-borne diseases such as the malaria, leishmaniasis, and trypanosomiasis is becoming more of a concern in tropical countries like Colombia. The recent evidences has demonstrated that the presence of Zika virus and causing of chikungunya viruses in the species Culex mosquitoes also. Culex mosquito can also transmit the disease causing pathogens of the Zika virus disease and also the chikungunya fever. Culex mosquito can also transmit these disease causing pathogens. Not only the arboviruses are changing their modes of transmission. The arboviruses are the group of viruses which are usually transmitted through this the mosquitoes in association with the vectors. The cat flea, that is Tinocephalides felis, has traditionally been considered the only confirmed vector of Rickettsia felis. Rickettsia felis is a disease caused by the vector, that is cat flea. However, the recent evidence has demonstrated that the mosquitoes Anopheles gambiae, that is the main vector of malaria in sub-Saharan Africa, can be a competent vector of Rickettsia felis. So this Anopheles gambiae, so not only the cat flea transmits the Rickettsia felis, now the Anopheles gambiae can also a competent vector in order to transmit the Anopheles gambiae and Anopheles albopictus mosquitoes are also competent vectors of transmitting Rickettsia felis. Anopheles gambiae, cat flea, and Aedes albopictus is also added as a competent vector in order to transmit the Rickettsia felis. In addition to Rickettsia felis has been detected in tropical countries where the Aedes albictus and Aedes aegypti readily bite the human beings. Okay, so it is easy for these flies to transmit the Rickettsia felis because they become competent and the physiology is quite similar, and the environment which is present inside the body of these mosquito will be favorable for the survival of the Rickettsia felis pathogen. Therefore, it is very likely that Aedes species mosquito might be able to transmit Rickettsia felis. Recent evidences has also identified the changing patterns of transmission. Recent evidences has also identified the changing patterns of transmission of rodent-borne diseases. Rodents are nothing but they are the group of organisms comes under the order Rodentia. Rodentia, that is the rat, mice, squirrel, etc. Okay, so the recent evidences has also identified the changing patterns of transmission of rodents, rodent-borne diseases such as Leptospira, hantavirus, and arenaviruses. So these are the disease-causing agents which are usually transmitted through the rodents. Example, the Leptospira and the arenavirus are transmitted by urban rodents. Urban rodents are nothing but these are the organisms or the rodents which are present living in the urban environment, such as Rattus rattus, Mus musculus, that is the mouse. Recent evidences also suggest that the wild rodents, that is the naturally present the rodents such as the New World sigmodontines are the chronic carriers of these roboviruses. Roboviruses are the group of viruses which are usually transmitted through rodents. So this is all about the adaptation of vectors, how the vectors get adapted to the changed environment and causes the infection in the changed location also very fastly. Okay, so this is all about the adaptation of vectors. Finally, so this is the time of COVID-19 pandemic. Second wave is being hit. Now, dear students, you must take care of yourselves. Wash your hands, wear face clothing or face mask, keep social distancing, and stay home, stay safe, and save lives. Thank you.